Professor Adekono Bello, a man whose intellect was as sharp as his tailored agbadas, was a revered figure at the prestigious University of Ibadan. His lectures on Nigerian history were legendary, delivered with a passion that ignited the minds of his students. Then came Amora Okoro, a final-year student whose brilliance was matched only by her captivating beauty. She possessed an unusual depth, asking questions that challenged his long-held perspectives, her eyes sparkling with an intelligence that both intrigued and unsettled him. He found himself lingering after class, offering her extra guidance, ostensibly about her thesis, but subtly drawn to her vibrant spirit. The university corridors, usually a blur of faces, now seemed to narrow whenever Amora was near, and a dangerous, undeniable current began to hum between them, a silent acknowledgement of a forbidden connection. Adekono, a married man with 2 children, felt a tremor of guilt, yet the allure of Amora was a powerful, intoxicating force he found increasingly difficult to resist. The line between mentorship and something far more intimate blurred with alarming speed. Their thesis discussions migrated from his office to hushed calls, then to clandestine meetings in quiet cafes off campus, far from the prying eyes of the university community. Amora, initially hesitant and aware of the immense professional risk, found herself swept away by Adekono's charm, his intellectual prowess, and the intense, almost desperate attention he showered upon her. He made her feel seen, understood, and desired in a way no one ever had. Their affair began in a secluded guest house on the outskirts of Ibadan, a place that quickly became their secret sanctuary. Each stolen moment was charged with a thrilling danger, a heady mix of passion and the constant fear of exposure. Adekono, blinded by infatuation, rationalized his actions, convincing himself that this was true love, a connection so profound it transcended societal norms and professional ethics. The university, a microcosm of Nigerian society, was a hotbed of gossip. Subtle glances, hushed conversations in the staff room, and knowing smiles from students began to chip away at their carefully constructed facade. Dr. Ngozi Okofor, a sharp-eyed colleague and a longtime friend of Adekono's wife, started noticing the professor's increasingly frequent late meetings and the way Amora's name seemed to pepper his conversations. She confronted Adekono subtly, a veiled warning about maintaining professional decorum, citing the university's strict policies. Amora also received anonymous messages, vague threats hinting at exposure, making her heart pound with fear. Despite the mounting pressure and the palpable tension, their illicit affair continued, fueled by a desperate cling to their stolen moments. They were like moths drawn to a dangerous flame, convinced their love was strong enough to withstand the inevitable inferno. The inferno arrived, swift and devastating. It began with a series of incriminating photos, discreetly taken and anonymously sent to the university's vice-chancellor, along with a detailed account of the affair. The images, though blurry, clearly showed Adekono and Amora together in compromising situations. The scandal exploded, ripping through the university like a wildfire. Adekono was immediately suspended, pending a full disciplinary hearing. The news hit the national tabloids, splashing headlines like "Professor's Shame" and "You are a lecturer in love scandal." His wife, Funk, publicly humiliated and heartbroken, filed for divorce. Amora, her academic future hanging by a thread, faced expulsion. The once revered Professor Adekono Bello became a pariah, his reputation in tatters, his career seemingly over. The price for his forbidden love was being exacted, publicly and painfully. Cornered and desperate, facing not only the loss of his career but also his family and reputation, Adekono made a calculated, cruel decision. During the disciplinary hearing, under intense scrutiny and pressure, he publicly denied the affair, painting Amora as a manipulative, ambitious student who had pursued him relentlessly. He claimed she had fabricated the evidence, twisting innocent interactions into a scandalous narrative to blackmail him. She was obsessed, he stated, his voice trembling with feigned remorse. I tried to guide her, but she misinterpreted my kindness. The university, eager to contain the damage and preserve its image, leaned towards his narrative, especially given his long-standing reputation. Amora, utterly blindsided and devastated by his public betrayal, watched her world crumble. The man she had loved, the man who had promised her everything, had sacrificed her to save himself. Amora, her heart a crucible of pain and vengeful fury, refused to be Adekona's scapegoat. In a shocking press conference, she didn't just refute his claims, she dropped a bombshell that silenced the nation. Professor Adekona Bello, she announced, her voice trembling but resolute, is not just my former lecturer. He is my father. She revealed a decades-old secret. Adekona had abandoned her mother, a young woman from a humble background, after a brief affair during his early university days, never acknowledging his child. Amora's love had been a meticulously planned, years-long act of revenge, orchestrated by her mother and her powerful maternal family, who had meticulously tracked Adekona's rise. Her goal was not just to expose his hypocrisy but to dismantle his life piece by piece, making him pay for the years of neglect and the pain he inflicted on her mother. Adekona, stripped bare of his lies, faced not only public scorn and the complete ruin of his career but also the profound, inescapable shame of his past catching up to him in the most devastating way imaginable. He had paid the ultimate price, losing everything that truly mattered.